Can Zeke deke again? Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, is Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did, and get caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, it may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Elliott. Oh, now he bowls him over. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the first. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
On second down, Elliott. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to. And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The football going back over to the New Orleans Saints and a team this year, Charles, that really took off after that Week 1 loss. For me, it all came together Week 9. You think back to that game when they beat the Rams, knocked off their undefeated streak to start the regular season. So now, are the Saints really Super Bowl winning contenders? I mean, do you put them in that category?
I certainly do, and I think people were wondering how they would respond this season after what happened to end last season, the Minneapolis Miracle, where they ended up giving up the touchdown pass in the last play of the game in the playoffs. And when it started losing at home to Tampa Bay, many wondered if their psyche had really been affected, but they've regrouped since then. The defense is really playing well. And then there's always Drew Brees to Mike Thomas, and that has worked very well for them.
Well, since you mentioned Michael Thomas, and we talked about that win over the Rams, never forget going to get the flip phone, Mr. Michael Thomas, channeling his inner Joe Horn from back in the day. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. They'll roll him out right. And Watson has it right side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, he gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in it?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Dallas getting the ball again here on offense, and the Cowboys haven't been able to build a ton of momentum if you look at their 2018 season as a whole, Charles. In fact, the first 7 weeks before the bye earlier in the year, it was kind of like flipping a coin. It was loss, win, loss, win, loss. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through.
Russ coming in. He's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football. And that really hurts you as an offense.
Breeze now on 1st down. He goes underneath to Ingram. Oh, another great move. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now Breeze muscles him off, and this is caught. First catch by Brandon Marshall, and he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Breeze. And this is Central Florida's Traquan Smith, his first NFL catch. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and see.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A second down throw for Prescott. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it.
Beat it, that's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. To the air again, Prescott. And an alley to run. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Nifty job there on the scramble. Got 12 yards, and now it's second down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And an alley to run. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have something about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Prescott down. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 30. Yard line. From the red zone now, Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. Well, week 12 in the NFL, also Thanksgiving week, and 3 games on Thanksgiving. We know about Chicago and Detroit, Washington, and Dallas. Don't forget about the 3rd and final game on Turkey Day, just as the early Black Friday shoppers are lining up. Atlanta and New Orleans.
And those Black Friday shoppers will be throwing serious elbows about the time this bad boy kicks off. Now, think about this weekend, or think about this Thanksgiving. It has the feel of a college rivalry weekend, doesn't it? Every game, intense rivalry. Chicago, Detroit, Washington, Dallas, and now this one, Atlanta, New Orleans. These two don't like each other very much. A huge game in the NFC South. Can't wait to watch this one. Matt Ryan, Drew Brees match each other throw for throw.
DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the fourth.
Here we go.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing now is Brees. Flushed out right. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Now Brees on 3rd down. Sliding out of the pocket, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And Lutz puts this one through. And that will make our score 9-0. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Here we go.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Over the middle. It's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
The Cowboys on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for their strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Thomas. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Easy.
Breeze is looking to throw. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run. Ingram. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Mark Ingram, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Now Breeze will bring the Saints offense up to go for 2 here. Breeze going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
What? Now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now Prescott, a dump off to Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. A first down throw for Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. They'll throw again. Prescott. Sheldon Rankins in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Third and long for Prescott. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch. Not at all.
Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Saints, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.